Death ends a life, but it does not end a relationship, which struggles on in the survivor's mind towards some final resolution, some clear meaning, which it perhaps never finds. Pennsylvania Station, New York, a few years ago. My mother and father were returning from Florida. My mother liked to play bridge, chatter and laugh gaily with the girls, and pretend that she had not had 2 operations for cancer, 3 heart attacks, and painful arthritis. My father, though he'd never been in the service, had the air of a retired brigadier general. He read the newspapers, he watched westerns on television, and told anyone who would listen the story of his life. I loved my mother. I wanted to love my father. The relationship between the parent and their offspring is a critical component to the experience of growing up. According to the ACT for Youth Foundation, about 85% of fathers say that being a dad is one of the most important aspects of who they are as a person. However, 2/3 of fathers also say that they don't spend enough time with their kids, either due to divorce or extensive work practices. So as shown in this piece, the offspring can be heavily affected by their parent being distant in some way, leading to issues such as vulnerability and attachment. I Never Sang for My Father by Robert Anderson.
Where did you say your mother was?
Walking around her garden.
I tell you, the strain has been awful.
Well, I mean, she looks well.
I know, but you never know when she might get another one of those damn seizures.
It's rough, I know.
Well, we'll manage. She's a good soldier. But, you know, she eats too fast. The doctor said she must slow down. Don't forget she has a birthday coming up.
Yes, I know, Dad.
And before you go, I want to give you some money. Go get something nice for me to give to her. Handkerchiefs, you know what she likes.
All right, I will. We're gonna have to get that cough looked into.
I fully intend to. Now I'm home. But I wasn't going to let them get their hands on me down there.
With the problems you've had with pneumonia,
I can take care of myself. Don't worry about me.
Mother would feel better if...
Now, Gene, don't you think I have the sense to take care of myself?
Well, sometimes no.
Where's your mother?
She's upstairs. She's fine. You see about that in the morning, Dad.
I fully intend to. Oh, this is a good one. Hey, why don't you just stay for the show?
No, Dad. I've got to run along.
Well, all right.
We see so little of you. Well, I'm up at least once a week, Dad.
There just doesn't seem to be any time. And when you are here, your mother's just doing all the talking. The way she interrupts, she just doesn't listen. And I say, Margaret, please. But she just goes right on.
We'll get a chance to talk, Dad. Don't worry.
I can't tell you what a comfort it is knowing you're just down in the city. Don't know what we'd do without you.
Good night, Dad. I'll call you tomorrow to see if you've gone to the doctors.
Well, I may, and I may not. I've looked after myself pretty well for almost 80 years.
Look, Dad, you're worrying Mother to death with that cough.
All right. I'll go. I'll be a good soldier.
Dad?
Yes?
You remember I wrote to you about California and Peggy?
What?
The girl in California.
Oh, yes?
I'm thinking very seriously, Dad, of going out there to live, to marry. Now, I know this is your home, and where you used to, but I'd like you to come out there with me, Dad. It's lovely out there, as you said, and we can find an apartment for you near us.
You know, I'd like to make a suggestion. Why don't you all come live here? Your family is here. Even if it's just me, of course.
Yes, Dad, I know.
All right. Go ahead. I can manage. Send me a Christmas card if you can remember.
Dad!
What?
I've asked you to come with me.
And I've told you I'm not going.
I understand that, but none of this send me a Christmas card if you can remember.
I've always known it would come to this when your mother was gone. I was tolerated around this house because I paid the bills and...
Shut up!
Oh, you. Shut up!
I asked you to come with me. What do you want? What the hell do you want? If I lived here the rest of my life, it wouldn't be enough for you. I've tried, goddammit. I've tried to be the dutiful son, commanded into your presence on every conceivable occasion. Easter, Christmas, birthdays, Thanksgiving. Even the Thanksgiving when Carol was dying and I was staying with her in the hospital.
Is it so terrible to want to see your own son?
It is terrible to want to possess him entirely and completely.
There'll be some papers to sign for your mother's estate. Be sure you leave an address with my lawyer. Dad, from now on, you can consider me dead. I gave you everything. Since I was a snot-nosed kid, I've worked my fingers to the bone. You had everything, and I had nothing. I gave you everything I never had.
I know, Dad.
You ungrateful bastard.
What do you want for gratitude, huh? Nothing. Nothing would be enough for you. You have resented everything you ever gave me. The orphan boy in you has resented everything. I'm sorry as hell about your miserable childhood. When I was a kid and you told me those stories, I would go up to my room at night and cry. But there's nothing I can do about it. And it does not excuse everything. But I am grateful to you. I also admire you and respect you and stand in awe of what you've been able to accomplish in your life. I'll never be able to reach that. But it does not make me love you. And I wanted to love you. You hated your father. I saw what it did to you. I did not want to hate you.
I don't care what you feel about me.
Well, I do. I came so close to loving you tonight. I never felt so open to you. You don't even know what it cost me to just ask you to come with me. When I've never been able to just sit in a room alone with you and just have a casual conversation. Did you really think that your door was always open to me?
It was not my fault if you never came in.
That night, I left my father's house forever, and I went as far as California. Peggy and I visited him once or twice, and then he came over to visit us. And he had a fever, and swollen ankles, and we put him in the hospital, and he never left. Death ends a life, but it does not end a relationship, which struggles on in the survivor's mind towards some resolution, which it never finds. What did it matter if I never loved him, or if he never loved me? But still, when I hear the word father, it matters.